You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. What's going on, Pel family? We're in this thing for another installment of the Pelican post-game report. So you know what that means? It's a whole nother week that has passed. And it's Friday once again. And once again, it's time for the Pelican post-game report. In this one, Pels land 5 players in the top 100 rankings. We got all that. And of course, the Pelicans got a new a former GM and an advisory role with the team. We'll cover that. We'll talk about several different news, notes, and items in this edition of the Pelican post-game report. I'm Big Q chiming in. I'd like to bring in my co-host on the Pelican post-game report, DC. How you doing tonight, bro? DC, how you doing tonight?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just can't wait till Monday, man. We got the Saints on Sunday and the Pels on Monday, man. It's gonna be an eventful few days for us.
Yep, and that's pretty good, man. The Saints on Sunday against the Eagles and the Pels on Monday with the Heat. So that's going to be real fun. Big ups to the Pelican family members in the building.
Man, that's crazy, Q.
How so?
Because we going to cook some eagle, and then we got to go watch some birds that we root for.
You use the Miami Heat to cook the Philadelphia Eagles. Is that what you're shooting at right there? Is that
There you go.
I got you. All right, big ups to the Pelican family in the chat. DJ, big ups to you. Till, my dog Till in the building.
Till.
John Thompson, what's up, John? Big ups to you. And all the Pelican family chiming in the chat. Much love to you guys. Thanks for being here. Much love to you guys. All right, in this installment of the Pelican post-game report family, we'll keep it going. In this one, we're going to cover several news, notes, and items on this special Pelican post-game report edition right here. A lot of stuff going on in the world of the Pelicans as things are picking up. We're getting ready for actual basketball, preseason style, and Monday. And, of course, we know the second preseason matchup comes 4 days later on that following Friday against the Milwaukee Bucks, which is a 7 p.m. matchup at the Smoothie King Center. And then ultimately we get closer and closer to that first regular season matchup that the Pelicans have going on. So, DC, basketball is closely approaching. For the Pelicans, man, to be honest with you, they had a lot of preseason basketball on tonight, opening day preseason, while in the NBA. I mean, Portland put on a show. They beat the Kings 127-102. You had the Magic getting the win over the Hawks, the Knicks beating the Pistons, Rockets beating the Bulls, and, of course, the Lakers beat the Clippers. Of course, the big names didn't play in the matchup, obviously. But some basketball to start off the basketball slate in the NBA, my friend.
Yeah, man, it's exciting times, man. It's a very weird season. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play that with a lot of these players that was just in the bubble, what is like a month and a half ago. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a little bit less of a lot of the big names in the beginning of the season. which would be perfect for us as the Pels when we trying to gel, and
Right.
we
Stack up some
basically
wins.
had a very short time in the bubble. So I think we'll adapt pretty well, man. But I'm looking forward to it, man. This is very exciting.
Yeah, it is, DC. Let's get into some of the news and notes on this episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. Like I said, we'll be covering several news, notes, and items in this show, breaking some stuff down. We'll start off with the 2020-21 Pelican season preview article that's coming from CBS. A pretty interesting article. Stan Van Gundy is tasked with pushing the Pelicans on defense and lifting them to the playoffs. And as you heard over me and DC was talking about this pre-show, the fact that the Pelicans sound real tired. Stan the man is working the hell out of him. He's big. He's a real drill sergeant, and they're trying to get that defense together. Because let me tell you, Elvin Gentry didn't leave him nothing pretty much to work with on the defensive side of the ball. So he really busting ass to get it, DC.
Oh yeah, you know it, man. Well, NAW was like, yeah, because Stan Van Gundy is all business. He made sure he put an emphasis on that, man. Stan Van Gundy probably got them people running suicides before and after they run the 5-on-5, bro. And a lot of players, they were saying it's good to get back out there, but they're clearly exhausted, bro. Stan whooping them into shape. And you know what? I think it's something that they really need, bro. Because they ain't getting no type of discipline, no type of whooped into shape with Al Gentry, bro. I just felt like they was doing what they wanted. If you had it in you to excel, you was going to excel. If you wanted to just fight around and play around, you can do that too.
Well, Gentry did make them run, but he made them run on the offensive side, and then they retreated to get back on defense.
Well, Q, when you it's one thing to run in transition, but I mean, come on, man. You can't realistically run full speed every goddamn play. That's what Gentry wanted them to do.
Why
run,
not?
run. I mean, you got to breathe sometimes, don't you?
No. Breathe when you're dead.
You can't run full speed every offensive play and then expect to run full speed and get back on defense too.
I know, DC. But that was kind of madness.
Suicides for a whole quarter. I mean, come on, man.
I know. We just glad that guy gone, man. Okay, we didn't get much. According to the article, let's get into this. This was from James Herbert of CBS Sports. Very good article. We didn't get as much Zion Williamson as we wanted last season, but those 19 games were something. He made his debut in January after New Orleans Pelicans had turned their season around, and instantly they hit another gear. Williamson averaged just under 24 points a game, 7 rebounds, and almost 30 minutes per contest. He might not have been in the best condition coming off a knee injury, but he still was able to transform New Orleans' already scary transition game and overpower people in the post. He didn't appear to disrupt Brandon Ingram's rhythm at all. In 565 minutes before the bubble, the Pelicans had a plus and minus 10.4 net rating with Williamson on the court. This alone is a compelling argument for them to make a leap in the second year. But while Williamson and Ingram are still the most important players, Coach Elvin Gentry is gone, replaced by Stan Van Gundy, who intends to tighten up the defense. Usually that would be a tough task after trading Holiday. But New Orleans acquired Eric Bledsoe, who has made 2 straight all defensive teams. And in that deal, the Pelicans also traded for Steven Adams, who will play the role vacated by Derek Favors. Ideally, Van Gundy will get this thing organized and give New Orleans a shot at the playoff spot. It will not look like his Pistons or the Magic, though, because his personnel demands at a faster pace. Now, turnovers could be more of a problem than they were for a typical Van Gundy team. In the presence of Williamson, a player who's not typical in any way, means the Pelicans will have options that other teams don't. It already sounds like Williamson is going to be more of a downhill driver than he was as a rookie. Now, Van Gundy loves passing naturally, and no one can stop him on the move. But the big unknown is how the new group will work together. New Orleans needs center Jackson Hayes and NAW to be helpful in rotation. Players in year 2, rookie Kyra Lewis Jr. will have a chance to earn a regular role too. Adams isn't going to start shooting threes, so the Pelican spacing will depend on Bledsoe and Ball shooting with conviction. Now, taking the temperature, Pelicans believer, don't sleep on the Pelicans, right? They know that the West is tough, but this feels like a playoff team they should have been won last year, frankly, and still befuddled by the terrible start and their weak showing in the bubble. Zion is in good condition, and Van Gundy is going to make sure the team is disciplined and has a strong defensive identity. This is what the Pelican skeptics are going to say, though. It's easy to say they should have been been in the playoff a year ago based on their roster. Yeah, I figured they'd be solid on defense, and one of the more injury-resistant teams in the league. That's not at all what they turn out to be, and it's not as if Holiday or Favors were to blame. Maybe the new coaching staff can fix everything, but it's hard to be optimistic about the Pelicans after seeing them look like a total mess in the bubble. Even Griffin said they had competitive issues, and now they have spacing issues. I get Holiday Bledsoe trade because of all the draft picks, but they should be surrounded Zion with shooters, not acquiring a traditional center, and immediately give him a $35 million extension. The man say he don't get it. But with that being said, Griffin did say that he had a competitive issue in the bubble, which is exactly why he was excited about Adams and Bledsoe, two players who will help New Orleans win, even though people on the internet don't like them as much as they did a few years ago. And we covered that here. We talked about the spacing. Oh, it's a terrible matchup with Steven Adams and the Pelicans and Zion Williams, and what are they doing? But I need to push back against the spacing.
Nobody watched basketball before 2010, Big Q.
Now, that's what it is. JJ Redick's going to shoot fewer threes for some reason. Brandon Ingram. Is there anything about Stan Van Gundy's track record that suggests he's not going to play lineups with shooters on the floor? Holiday and Bledsoe shot threes at roughly the same frequency, and Holiday as the only marginal edge in accuracy. I expect Ball to continue his upward trajectory as a shooter, and I expect Van Gundy to empower Zion as a playmaker when defenders collapse on Williamson. Everybody's going to get open looks. They're going to double, even triple team down on them. This is a real good article. I expect everybody to read it, and it has several other interesting paragraphs in it, but I won't get into the meat and potato to get too further in it because we have other ones to carry. But DC, the gist of the matter is, it's pretty much the Pelicans are a team that have everything they need to be competitive right now to be a playoff team. I mean, we have shooters. We have J.J. Redick here. You also have, I agree with the writer about Lonzo Ball, upward trajectory, shooting the three-point ball, fixing that shot. And he's a lot more comfortable in year two with that shot. And, of course, the roster of really talented coaches that's going to help further along, help in the development of the players. And then the onus on Stan Van Gundy to get the defense together. And, of course, I'm telling you, it's two things that Van Gundy is teaching in practice. He's teaching defense and protecting the rim, and he's also talking about cutting the turnovers down and being respectful of the ball. There was, if you've been listening to the interviews that we've been putting up on the Pelican Post Game Report, there was a particular interview, I think it was the last one of day 3, a press conference one when Stan Van Gundy basically talked about efficiency and about taking the opposing team's most efficient route of scoring the ball, which is, he broke it down statistically and showed it about them getting to the basket. He said if you can divert or take away their most efficient shot, you can then force them to try to create a secondary way of scoring. And that's how he realized the actuaried it out statistically speaking, is if you can do that to the team, you'll win the majority of the games. You'll beat a lot of the teams when you can take their most efficient way of scoring away from them. DC, please comment on that.
Man, that's an excellent point. I mean, that goes for any sport, boxing, football included. I'm not a really big baseball fan, but I'm sure it's the same way. If you can take away the majority of the teams in the league at any sport, their best skill, there's not a lot of teams that are able to adapt or have a counter for that. They usually thrown off balance and kind of look like they're in a funk that whole game, and then they play the person the next game, and they look like themselves again. So I agree with those sentiments, man. And I mean, you want to take control of what you can control, and that's the talking point that I heard. I don't remember what interview that was, but a lot of the players were coming. I think maybe the second day, talking about how Stan Gundy was paying attention to the details and looking at the details, and about us controlling what we control. I think it was NAW, man. He saw. I was very impressed with his interview. He was talking about how a lot of games we beat ourselves. We didn't lose the game strictly because we were the less talented team. Obviously, we were the worst team, because we beat ourselves. But he was saying there was so many things we done, especially late in the quarters in the games, that could have changed the outcome of the game, just depending on mistakes, mental mistakes, and just unforced mistakes we made ourselves. And Stan Van Gundy's been harping on that, man. So if you take that, and that's the turnovers right there, what I'm talking about, and tie into what you're talking about, which was the atrocious transition defense that we had, which then also ties into the layups and stuff like you were talking about, man. If you eliminate those three things, Q, and the Pelicans can still do what they were doing offensively, maybe be a sixth or fifth or sixth 3-point shooting team, and we can up that free throw percentage, because I'm sure I don't know what our free throw rating was with the other 32, but I'm sure we were at the bottom of the league. We were hovering around the 20 somewhere. I'm pretty positive, because we did so many games where we harped on those missed free throws, man. It was love Drew the player, but it's some of those games and those missed free throws, even from him, was like, how do you not hit those or consistently keep missing them? And that leadership and that, I guess, lack of leadership from Alvin Gentry kind of leaked down to the rest of the players. And Zion was one of them, shooting 64%. But if you can take all those things and tie it in and correct those, which are all errors that tie into beating yourself, shit, the sky's the limit, man. I mean, you're gonna beat the majority of teams you play, especially if you're effective at taking away their best option offensively.
Yeah, and that really struck a chord, and he's really hell bent on doing that. To be honest with your family, about that, correcting the defensive issues. And you studied film and tape, and he was an analyst prior to this season when would cover the Pelicans contest. I'm pretty sure he's seen their style of play and how absolutely miserable it was in terms of defense, and how we were able to give up as much as we did from a different. Now, some games the Pelicans stood tall in, but a lot of the games it didn't. And that was, in my opinion, a lot of the downfall to the Pelicans, that they couldn't make the necessary stops. We have walk-up layups and all. It was absolutely terrible how it all shaped up. But let's move on to the next point here.
I think Stan was calling Alvin Gentry. I mean, not Alvin Gentry, calling David Griffin during the season, bro, sprinkling a little salt on Alvin Gentry game, bro. I definitely think that was going on.
What makes you think that?
Because he had such an intrigue for the Pelicans during the season. I mean, there were podcasts where he had all these envisions for what they should do with Lonzo, and Zion is such a great player. Like he's been intrigued by this team, man.
I mean,
and he wanted coming out of basically a hiatus to come here, and this is the only job he wanted. You don't think he was sprinkling a little salt?
I mean, it wouldn't be on.
It could have been some bland ass salt to get Alvin Gentry out. It wouldn't took much.
Right. I mean, he was already 1 foot on the banana peel, other one gone. But I mean, I get that much about it. And besides, I mean, it don't surprise me. It was all in the family, because his brother tried to get this job when Alvin Gentry went after it. So I mean, you don't think he went and talked to his brother about this?
Right. When we had Anthony Davis. He wanted to coach Anthony Davis. I remember that.
That's right.
That was Jeff Van Gundy. He was saying he would love the opportunity to coach. He said that live on TV, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, for the whole world. He said I would come out of this booth for an opportunity to coach Anthony Davis. I remember that.
Right. So and that's what it came down to. But we're gonna keep it moving.
Hold out, bro.
Once again, DC, what you say?
I said that was the Dell Demps era. Is that though? I don't think he would have wanted him to be GM.
Yeah, because if he would hire, right, we'd never got rid of Dell Demps. He would still be here if he did get Jeff Van Gundy in here and they started winning. And you never know, Jeff might have hired his brother to come in and help him out. You would still have Demps, right? Yeah, so this is the thing. Oh, my goodness. We can't. Got to get one or the other. I'm glad it worked out the way it did, though, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's keep it going. Teal, big ups to Teal. Teal's asking the question, why do some teams have 2 preseason games and some have 4? Teal, I remember hearing about that when they formulated the schedule. They were putting the schedule together. And I think it has something to do with the C19 things that's going on. Um, I was reading something about it, my friend. I'm gonna have to research the article and come back at you with it because the NBA had put out an article about exactly why that is happening. Because the Pelicans have two, and then there are teams that have four preseason. Well, actually, some that have three. I want to say I've seen one team that have four of them, but the NBA, the way they situated it, it was tied to the C19 situation that was going on from city and area to area. DC, could you expound on that?
I believe from what I found out, I think it was tied to the COVID numbers, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Like the cities that were less susceptible got more preseason games, and obviously here in Louisiana, we're supposed to be like one of the highest cities, far as the rate per capita type thing.
Mhm.
And I think that's what they based it off of to limit exposure to COVID unnecessarily. So that's all I think it was. Other than that, I mean, it really wouldn't make any sense for teams to have such an unfair advantage. I mean, we're one of them teams. We ain't got to play that many preseason games. Or you could look at it as a team that gets a chance to play 4 games has an unfair advantage because they get a chance to gel and get a little more experience over everybody else. But for whatever reason it was, I think it was COVID due to the numbers per capita, so they can limit exposure to the disease and stay safe.
Let me drop this on you too. This is something else coming from the NBA in terms of the C19 stuff. The leagues. Now, this is what's asked about the what about the possibility of a C19 vaccine, right?
Uh
And
oh.
all right, this is what the NBA's official stance on it is. The league's protocol document also includes a language about C19 vaccine could affect the season once one or more, and that's quoted, end quote, out quote, one or more vaccines have been both authorized by the FDA and specialists working with the NBA and the NBPA believe them to be safe and effective. The NBA and NBAPA will discuss whether Tier 1 and Tier 2 individuals will be required to receive the vaccine. The protocol also says that if the vaccine will not be required, that could create the need for an additional health and safety restriction for those who don't get the vaccine compared to those who do. For example, people who don't get the vaccine could have to wear masks or get tested more often than those who get it. That's their stance on it, and that's
That's
the
insane, man. That is insane. I guess that's their way of trying to force people to do it that don't want to by making it uncomfortable and not very convenient. But I don't get that, man. So what are you gonna go around scanning everybody to see who's got it and who do you got to wear a placard on your shirt? Like I mean, how's that going? We gonna have to wear IDs? Like how are they gonna verify who's got the vaccine and who doesn't, just passing randomly or going through grocery stores or whatever? They're gonna make it mandatory for your jobs. I mean, you starting to infringe upon rights at this point. I mean, but it ain't like they already haven't. But they look like they're getting ready to go a little deeper down that rabbit hole, a little further into
well,
your living room and
well,
what you doing
well,
in the
DC.
privacy of your medical records.
Well, DC. First and foremost, that is exactly what is that's called for. You will have a card, and it'll move eventually to a bracelet that you wear, and ultimately to some nanotech that you will probably end up getting. So, I mean, it's a part of it.
Talking about getting a RFID chip.
No, we talking. It's way worse than that. I mean, but you know what? If you really want to know about it, there's a book out there. It's called "The Tragedy of Hope," and in that book, it talks about everything that's going on, right? Like it's a playbook, just like it's a playbook. And the fact that they got to this point is because you're willing to put up with a lot of stuff. But that's a subject for another show and called On Q with Big Q, not the Pelican Post Game Report. So we will move on to the Pelican Post Game Report related topics. But thank you for that question there, Teal. Much love to you. Big ups to you as well. We're gonna get you some articles and then we're gonna get to your questions, family. Thank y'all for being in the chat. John says, who will be the team's most improved defensive player this season? DC, quickly give John a response to that question, please.
I know the person I'm supposed to say would be Zion Williamson. That would be the answer everybody's looking for. But the person I believe will be the most improved defensive player this year will be Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is stepping into the role or the shoes of Drew Holiday and what he's left. And I believe Brandon Ingram for this young core is going to attempt to be the alpha dog or the leader and set the tone all across the board for everything we do as a team. Along with Zion, obviously co-starring in that role. But I believe Brandon Ingram would make the biggest leap and the biggest jump, having the most pressure and the biggest spotlight on him, other than Zion, but also being the player in that same position with the most experience. Zion's in the second year. This Brandon Ingram's what, fifth year? So I think he's going to be the guy that takes the biggest leap because he's been talking about it and he clearly wants to be a better defender. You bring in Stan Van Gundy. He's obviously going to focus on the two best players on the team defensively, along with anchoring it with a guy like Steven Adams. Jackson Hayes is already pretty serviceable for a backup. I think he just need to get stronger. So um, you're probably gonna see the biggest jump from Bi, and then it's gonna trickle down to everybody else. And I think that's by design, and that's what the Pelicans are intending to do. So they're gonna start with their two most popular players and set a culture and a tone, along with a guy like I said, Steven Adams, who already is a pretty damn good defender, and Eric Bledsoe, who already is a pretty good defender, along with Lonzo Ball, who already is a pretty good defender. So there you go.
All right, let's move on to the next article. Pelicans adding former Bulls GM Gar Forman to the front office in a special advisory role. Now, this is coming from the Bird Rights article. It's all about adding another highly regarded talent evaluator. According with Ali Cosell's breaking down, Gar Forman, the former general manager of the Chicago Bulls, is joining the New Orleans Pelicans in a special advisory role. His primary responsibilities are expected to center on talent evaluation, giving assistance to David Griffin and Trajan Langdon in the scouting department. I'm sorry, last time I checked, I thought that's all Trajan Langdon did was scouted because he damn sure is not a general manager. I mean, he might as well be the janitor at this. Come on.
Stop it.
All right, let's keep it going. According to Case,
Trajan Langdon was the main guy in the reason for us drafting Kyra Lewis. So remember that.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, let's keep it going. In this one, Gar Forman said the former general manager, he's the former GM of the Chicago Bulls and joining the Pelicans in a special advisory role. His primary responsibilities is expected to center on talent evaluation. And like I said, giving assistance to Griffin and Langdon in the scouting department. Now, according to Casey Johnson of NBA Sports Chicago, Griffin and Foreman have shared a good relationship for years. However, the same cannot be said with the fans in the Windy City who were asking for Gar to be fired. Gar Pax, John Paxson, and Foreman to fire those two because they felt that they screwed up the team. But before the fans collaborated to put a billboard in hopes of pushing Chicago franchise go in a different direction, were happier times. After getting promoted to general manager position in 2009, Foreman proceeded to assemble a strong core with Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, remember that squad, which included the additions of Taj Gibson, who was the 26th pick in the 2009 draft, Jimmy Butler, 30th pick in the 2011 draft. He also managed to parlay the number 28 selection of the 2011 draft with Norris Cole into future rights for Nikolai Mirotic. Remember that guy? Some of these efforts in the Bulls' corresponding success on the court culminated in the 2011 Executive of the Year award. Unfortunately, that was the high point of Foreman's tenure. Then in 2012 came in the wake of Rose's organization changing knee injury. Foreman would have to finally deal with adversity, and adversity measures the true worth of a person. It wasn't long before Foreman was exposed. The draft in the Marquise Teague was a catastrophic on many levels. First, because Thibodeau wanted Draymond Green and was vetoed, and secondly, because Foreman was actually talked into the pick by Kentucky coach John Calipari, a fact that the higher-ups have admitted to happening. But it wasn't behind the scenes that Foreman started to misplay his hand. He quickly gained a reputation as a guy that was paranoid, turning his focus to keeping his job rather than doing his job. Then there was stories of distrust sown with the Chicago organization, unceremonious firing of Tom Thibodeau, and the eyebrow-raising trades of Luol Deng, Jimmy Butler, and yet Foreman managed to stay with the Bulls through all the potential pitfalls. After 22 years of employment, though Chicago decided it was finally time to move on from Foreman this past April, hiring Arturas, Karin Nasovas as the executive vice president of basketball operations, who then brought in Mark Eversley as the general manager. Despite the roller coaster ride in Chicago, there were rumors that Foreman would soon land elsewhere in the league, especially in some scouting type of role. The early talk around the league is just Foreman, for all of his issues involving trust with some agents and other executives, is also known as an extremely strong talent evaluator. He has 2 years left on his contract with the Bulls, which will be paid to him in some fashion or other, a source said, but he's likely to land a scouting job with another team. Well, guess what? He didn't have to wait, because according to those who are aware of his positive attributes, Foreman has a great eye for talent, especially regarded players who seem to fall through the cracks, possess excellent knowledge of the NBA cap, and is extremely detail orientated. Okay, now with those dots do line up. The Pelicans have 11 first-round picks. That's right, 11. They have 3 first-round pick swaps. They have 10 second-round picks over the next 7 drafts. So it's logical that New Orleans front office is to beef up their crew of talent evaluators. Foreman seems to fit that bill and perhaps a little more, with already having Griffin's confidence. So, and also Ali says, don't overlook this hire. Well, the strong evaluator of talent, he most certainly is picking up some of those guys, but he's not in that general manager role. He can't do that damage. All he is an advisor in the scouting department role. And I like him in that role because that general manager got behind him, and it was just time. But I tell you what, man, if there was any alien movies, boy, Gar Forman, boy, he'd be lining up for him, because he damn sure don't look like a human. And David Griffin always talking about humans. Boy, Gar Forman looked like he's straight out of one of them Mars movies. Got a rubber mask on or something. But anyway, I'm just kidding, DC. What you think about Gar Forman?
I think you should send him to the grocery store, but don't let him cook shit. That's what I think. He seems to be a good scout, so got to give him a chance there. I mean, looking at a lot of the picks he had, especially guys in the first round. I mean, he drafted Kirk Heinrich, Derrick Rose. I mean, damn, it's kind of hard to miss on Derrick Rose, but he was number one. Ben Gordon, Joakim Noah, Wendell Carter's another good player. Taj Gibson,
Butler.
James Johnson, it wasn't bad. Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying? Kobe White from last year. So, I mean, I can't argue with some of the players he picked. Now, all the other decisions he decided to make beyond that, yeah, you know, that's horrible, atrocious. I mean, he had a whole damn city basically protest to get him out of there. That's bad. That's really bad. But under the tutelage of another alien, the guy who's alien to doing bad, in David Griffin. So he's got the dude from Family Guy to come over there and give him a hand, and he can be American Dad. And damn, Q, help me find a spot for Trajan Langdon.
I can't, bro. You've lost me. I don't know where you're going with that one.
I was trying to put together a little covert operation, bro, with the you call a man an alien, so you know.
I mean, have you seen a picture of Gar Forman?
He looked like the dude off American Dad, the little alien off American Dad. What his name is?
I don't know.
Hey man, damn, I can't remember his name, man. The little gray guy, bro.
I don't know.
He looked like him to me.
He's a weird looking cat, man, but he got a special skill set and looking for talent, man. So that's, you said send him to get the groceries, just don't cook them, and that's the role that he has here. And as long as he's in that role, I'm fine with that.
I don't even know if I want him chopping the vegetables up. I might be scared to give him the knife to chop up the vegetables. Just let him go to the grocery store, and matter of fact, he just let him make the list.
And let Trajan pick up the groceries.
Let Trajan go get the groceries. Let him make the list, though. He can make the list.
Okay. See that now you're giving I like that, because you got everybody involved right there. That's teamwork.
Maybe.
That's teamwork. All right, let's move on to the next one. Pelicans seeking fan input for the G League team. That's right, family. We got a G League team. The Pelicans did buy this team from, what was it, the Erie? I want to say there was the Erie Bay something or other, but the Pelicans they bought this team several years ago, and they were anticipating a move to bring the team south, and they had different people that applied for the team. Baton Rouge put in forward, Shreveport, Lake Charles, all these different areas, but ultimately when it was all said and done, Birmingham secured the deal to be able to get the G League team. The Pelicans announced that they'll solicit community input as they name the Pelicans' new G League team that will be based in Birmingham, Alabama. Local residents and basketball fans are encouraged to suggest ideas for the team name through the Pelicans website at pelicans.com/Birmingham. Now, the submission period starts today and will end on Wednesday, 12/23 at 5 p.m. Central Time. This is a great way for the community to share the names they think would represent the city of Birmingham, and this is an exciting new team, say Pelicans president Dennis Laucha, whatever. From the beginning, we said that we want the city of Birmingham to be involved in this process. This allows the opportunity to support the team. We are eagerly waiting to see the submissions. On March 30th, 2017, the Pelicans announced their intention to own and operate an NBA G League franchise. Why not? The Pelicans making top-notch bank. They had an impact. The owner, Gail Benson, had a really good increase of pay this year as well. And the Pelicans decided to make that move. Now, in 2019-2020, the season marked the debut of the Pelicans expansion team, which began in Erie, Pennsylvania, as the Bayhawks, and is estimated to relocate to Birmingham starting the 2021-2022 season. The Pelicans G League team will play its home games at an arena currently being renovated at the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Complex. The Pelicans expect to announce the G League team new name in the first quarter of 2021. So there you go. The Pelicans got a G League team. And, of course, there was another article out that saying another team could share that moniker with the Pelicans as well. It's just up for thought right now. But DC, the Pelicans, G League team, man, making big moves.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're getting it back going. The Bay Area Hawks, whatever they was called before, they ain't gonna be called that no more. So they're gonna be right there in Birmingham, and I believe it was the Wizards that was supposed to team up with and share a roster. Be very interesting to see what the name gonna be though. What you think for a good name, Q? I heard one floating around out there. The Birmingham Brass, that makes sense since they playing b-ball,
Brass sounds good to me. I'm not certain, what Birmingham is known for. I don't know exactly what that city. I got family members up there. I don't know what it's known for.
DeMarcus Cousins say they known for Mardi Gras, Big Q.
Is that Mobile or is that Birmingham?
You know what? Maybe you're right. It might be Mobile. I'm sorry.
But that's what I'm saying about Birmingham. I don't know. Maybe some of the family members out there can enlighten us on what Birmingham, what the hell is known for. I have no idea what Birmingham is known for, man. But I don't know about the Brass. I don't know I know it most certainly won't be the Hawks. They obviously don't want it to be the Birmingham Pelicans. So I mean that don't make any sense. So
what about Birmingham Crawfish? And they could just back down the court.
I don't like that at all. To be honest with you, that sounds pretty bad, DC. But I don't know what Birmingham, the city of Birmingham, is known for. So I don't know. Maybe a generic name, perhaps Birmingham Warriors. I don't know, something like that. But we'll see how it shakes on the back end of it, because they ultimately they'll decide the name of the team, and the Pelicans will go with the best suggestion. All right, let's go into some more news. Pelicans allow 800 fans inside the Smoothie King Center for home opener, according to an article here from Christian Clark of NOLA.com. 800 fans inside the Smoothie King Center for home opener, team says. Not only a triple-digit number of the Pelicans fans will be allowed to attend the team's opener later this month on Thursday, Dr. Avano said the city has recommended about 800 fans to be permitted inside the Smoothie King Center when the Pelicans face the Spurs on December the 27th. The number represents just 4% of the maximum capacity of the Smoothie King Center. In a statement, the Pelicans spokesperson Greg Benzel confirmed the team plans to follow the recommendations. With the start of the Pelican season quickly approaching, our staff, along with the city and state officials, health and safety experts, and guidance from the Ochsner Hospital, have designed a state-of-the-art health and safety plan for the Smoothie King Center. The team statement said, much like we did in making the Mercedes-Benz Superdome the safest venue in the country to watch a football game, we're doing the same with the Smoothie King Center. When determining capacity, we look closely with the city officials on real-time data relative to positive rates and number of cases being reported. Currently, we're experiencing a rise in metrics. Additionally, the Pelicans are hoping the number of fans allowed at the games will increase incrementally as the health and safety metrics allow. So Avenue said that 3,000 fans will be allowed into the Superdome when the Saints host the Chiefs on December the 22nd, which is down from the number of fans, 6,000 who were there allowed, during the Saints 24-9 win over the Falcons back on November the 22nd. Now, last month, the city said its plan was to increase the number of fans allowed inside the Superdome to 15,000 for the December 20 and the December 25th home games. However, the plan was scrapped because of the uptick in positive rates. When we made the initial progression, it was almost contingent on the fact that things continued to look good. We're provided then with that, it was a pretty simple threshold. It's exactly what you see in here. Avenue said the number of fans allowed into the sporting events will heavily depend on two factors. One is the average number or case counts in Orleans Parish are fewer than 100 per day. The second is the positive rates remain below 5% between November the 26th and December the 2nd. 5.2% of the tests came back positive. Our goal is to be very consistent across stadiums and arenas. And then week by week, as things either stay the same, get better, or get worse, then we would make these adjustments. So maximum capacity at Smoothie King Center is just under 17,000. It's roughly 1/4 of the maximum capacity of the Superdome. Pelicans' last game at the Smoothie King Center was March the 11th. The NBA was forced to suspend it season indefinitely. March the 13th, as the C virus cases surged nationwide, the NBA has to conclude its season inside the Disney World bubble. Players lived and worked on campus and were tested daily. Now, 800 people to start off the season in the Smoothie King Center, DC. That's pretty interesting.
I guess that's pretty good. I mean, I can't look at it the same way we looked at them decrease in the number like they did with the Saints. 800 is shit a hell of a lot more people than zero. That's what it was in the bubble. So gotta roll with it, man. But man, this what the talented 10th, like it's like vaguely 10% of New Orleans will be able to go in there. That ain't even that's I'm tripping. That ain't 10%. I don't know where I'm getting them numbers from. That's way lower than that, but you get my point. You gotta be pretty much up there to get a ticket. I wonder what the price will be on the ticket, man, if they'll probably bump that price up a little bit. It's gonna be a high commodity with 17 national games too. No, 19 national televised games, right? Yeah.
Really expecting that to change a bit, though. To be honest with you, that's expected to change as the numbers either get better or
To go lower?
to go higher if numbers decrease or where they are if they decrease. It's the contingent. It's contingent on testing that they're doing. So we just got to make sure that whatever they're doing, that they're doing the correct testing, and it's not no flim flam game going in there. But let's keep it going. Moving to the next one. Pelicans in ESPN Top 100 DC. This is interesting because we talked about this offshore. Pelicans have 5 people or 5 players in the top 100, and it's Zion Williamson ranked too high. Keller Strauss of the Pelican Debrief makes that point. If the Pelicans Zion Williamson ranked too high in the ESPN's top 100 players. Yeah, you also have guys like Zoe Ball, Steven Adams, Zion Williamson. All those guys are in there as well. And Lonzo, of course, was ranked 54 on the list. But how do you feel about the ESPN top 100 rankings of the Pelicans?
Shit, I like it. ESPN sound like they might be on to something, bro. They got Zion ranked 54, Brandon Ingram ranked 28. No, I'm not Zion. They got Lonzo Ball ranked 54, Brandon Ingram's 28. Zion's 19. Steven Adams is what, 70? And Eric Bledsoe 67. So basically, our whole starting lineup is in the top 100. I can't argue with that at all. I mean, a lot of people would say Zion is ranked high, but I think it's based on what they think we're gonna do next year. And if Zion is actually down to about 270, like the rumors are going, and he's back to what he was in Duke, I think he could easily be a top 20 player. I mean, last year they were having arguments when he was having this little stretch run that he could possibly be top 25 just last year. And I mean, some of the things he was doing, the way he was scoring in the paint and the efficiency he was doing it at was comparable only to Will Chamberlain. I mean, that's some pretty big damn shoes. He was playing better than Shaq. It's insane, bro. And the guy says he was doing all of that and a lot of things he couldn't do because his knee was still obviously bothering him during the season. And now he's supposed to be fully healthy, no minutes restrictions, coming into doing more, having a year under his belt, showcasing other aspects of his game that people don't know he has. I think 19 is pretty damn good.
Yeah, interesting, man. Not bad, man. And remember, these the rankings that they're throwing at people is what they're. These are forecasting rankings in terms of what how good these guys will be into the season, not as they are right now, but what they could be. And it's real. It's an interesting ranking system that they're using to throw at this thing. Now, DC, that was the last one we covered. Of course, I want to talk about the fact that Pelicans' regular season schedule is coming up soon. Of course, December the 23rd, family, 2 days before Christmas Day, we open
And we
up the
play on
regular
Christmas
season.
too, right?
That's correct. Same
Yeah.
time the Saints play. So I mean, we play the same day
Pelicans play. I'm about to
at
say they
11
did not.
o'clock. Pelicans
They play at
play.
11 o'clock in the morning.
They play at 11 in the morning on ESPN, and then the Saints play later at 3.
Ain't nobody but major Saints fans gonna be watching that damn game. I don't know who they expect to be watching basketball 11 in the morning Christmas Day. But hey, we'll be tuning in.
We'll be tuned in. We'll definitely be there. Toronto was started off on December the 23rd with Pelicans go to Toronto, and then we travel to Miami on Christmas Day. Christmas in Miami, not bad. Well, we got the C19 stuff going on, but then the Pelicans come home for the 27th matchup with the Spurs, the first home game of the season. And then, of course, we then leave and finish out December on the road, December the 29th at Phoenix, then at OKC before we come back for a quadruple homestand with Toronto, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Charlotte. So a little bit of the road trip with one home game in December, starting off the schedule with the young Pels. But at the end of the day, we get right when January jump around with 5 straight home, 4 straight home games there, which is pretty good. So we can get going early. Toronto will be a stiff test. Miami, a defending Eastern Conference champion. The fundamental San Antonio team. Phoenix is a young gun, hungry team, no longer an easy out. And then, of course, OKC, who are not quite who they were. They'll probably fall down where we thought they should have fell last year, but due to really good coaching, they were able to overstep their bounds. So we'll look at be a kind of a tough season, DC, to open up the season with Toronto, Miami, and San Antonio, and a very up and coming Phoenix club, man.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, man. I mean, I hope people aren't discouraged if we don't wind up just blowing the doors off teams coming out with the competition that we playing. I mean, all of those teams are playoff contenders, but it get a little better as you go down further into the season, and um, hopefully it don't come to be a situation like last year if the COVID thing surges and we got all our easier games on the back end of the season and we get shafted again like that. But we're gonna see what the Pelicans are made of, man. They're gonna have an opportunity to go out there pretty early and play some good contending teams and make a statement. I'm looking for the Pelicans to be impressive, no doubt. I mean, we got a lot of talent, got a lot of potential, new system, things brewing. So you're gonna see flashes, you're gonna see excitement. I guarantee that. It's gonna be very entertaining. But we can't get down if we play a veteran team like the Spurs team who's been together longer than us, or a team like the Raptors who's been together longer than us. And quite frankly, we go in there and we wind up not beating them. Or if we lose to the Heat in the preseason, everybody has a chemistry issue over us. I think when it comes with their role players and like the full extension of the team. But our stars, they know each other. They learn each other game. They got one year down. And I think we're gonna see a major improvement. So my thing would be everybody looks good on paper that we playing, but you still got to go out there and play the games and see if they're looking like what they would you would think they would look like and what they looked like last year. Team like Phoenix, to me, I think will wind up being a pretty good team, but I mean they still got to go out there and do it. And I'm not expecting them to come out, just on fire. Chris Paul being there, they got to get their chemistry going and kind of rediscover what they had going in the bubble and it's hard a lot of times to restart everything. But with the way the season ended for the Pelicans, I think they have a lot of like fire to want to get it done, man, and get things done.
Well, DC, well said, my friend. The Pelicans season, man. We getting ready, man. We're getting ready for it, man. And listen, we're gonna be here. The Pelican post-game report is in the building, man. We're gonna cover all this, man. We're gonna be here the whole entire 72, whatever it is, season with passionate Pelican commentary. So I'd like to thank all you guys for stepping in, dropping by for the Pelican post-game report. I'm Big Q, DC in the building, you're in the building. Hit the like button, share the podcast, share the show on your social media, subscribe if you aren't a subscriber, and we'll see you later with more Pelican talk. We're gonna holler at you fellas later. Peace.
Peace.
Remington Tax Solutions is a company that, together with their partners, provide virtual tax consultation and preparation for individuals, small business, and nonprofit. They also provide notary and a host of other business-related services for their clients. Their associates provide a systematic yet very client-centered approach to their services. They offer the industry knowledge and insight to help solve your most complex tax issues. At Remington, their currency is time, the one resource that cannot be replenished. For that reason, they utilize the simplest and most effective forms of technology to make their services faster and more efficient. No need to wait in the office until your taxes are completed. Simply upload your documents via the Taxes to Go app or via their client portal, and they'll take care of the rest. Remington Tax Solutions is a member of the National Association of Tax Professionals and participates in the IRS Annual Filing Season Program, which is a voluntary tax education program to stay abreast of the ongoing changes in tax legislation. Remington Tax Solutions has a strong connection to the communities in which they serve. It is a part of their mission to make a positive impact on the lives of their neighbors. So, if you're looking for a reliable, effective, and trustworthy tax preparation service, Remington Tax Solutions is the business for you. Contact Remington Tax Services at their number 682-307-4410 or simply go to remingtontax.com. That's remingtontax.com. Remington Tax Service, virtual tax preparation for the individual and small business.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
HomeBistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commit. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specializing in affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from HomeBistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with HomeBistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with HomeBistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Live clean, eat cleaner. The only natural and patented produce wash. Eat Cleaner is a tasteless, odorless, and lab-tested line of food wash and wipes that is up to 99.9% more effective than water in cleaning wax. The only natural, patented produce wash in a 14-day study. Applying Eat Cleaner all-natural fruit vegetable wash to a variety of fruit and 100 pure guaranteed vegetables also prolong shelf life up to 5 times longer through a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. This can help save your family on average of over $500 per year, reducing waste and making it easy to get your half plate of fruit and vegetables each day. Eat Cleaner offers a wide variety of solutions for food safety and shelf life extension for consumers, retailers, food service, and operators. USDA bio-based, OMRI listed for use on organic produce, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, made in the USA, lab-proven, and patented. So if you want cleaner fruits and veggies, try Eat Cleaner. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report